Hey, chosen ones. I've got a message today. This message will not resonate with everyone. This is for a select few. So let's just jump right on in. For the chosen vessels of God, the ones that He's handpicked here to establish a precedent and also to righteously judge here on this earth, to basically be His battle axe, we are coming into knowing exactly how powerful we truly are. And so many of us, some of us don't even know how powerful we are yet. But yet and still, we are coming into that power. And so the ones that know, we're able to have what I'd call full circle moments, right? Many of us were born into families that are just, I wouldn't say evil, but the ways and the traditions are not, they're not stable, and they don't align with the will of God. Yet and still, there's always going to be, those certain family members who hold themselves in high esteem. I think we'd call like the matriarch of the family, or the emperor of the family, or the empress of the family, right? That high level individual in the family that everyone kind of goes to for information, for spiritual guidance, the one who seems and appears to be the most established, the most put together. And to the outside world, it would look as if they were the chosen vessel of God, right? Like they were the ones that God gave the mission to keep the family together. Maybe after a family member has passed away, this person is the one that everyone expects to kind of come in and fill that void. Well, you know that scripture that says God takes the foolish things to confound the people in high places. He takes that foolish person, or that one that the world overlooks, and that's the one that they're really using. So it would be beneficial to just really take a look at who may be the black sheep of your family. And when I mean black sheep, I mean the one who everyone goes out their way to make feel unimportant, right? The village will take care of the village, but there's that one family member who seems to be left out, has to struggle, doesn't get any advice, any help. That is the person that you might want to take a look at and get to understand a little better. Okay? So let's just get into it, right? So that black sheep of the family, and I'm not talking about the self-proclaimed black sheep of the family. There's also always that family member who goes around always saying it. I'm the black sheep, I'm the black sheep. But you look at that person and you say, no, you're not. You chose to walk down a path of destruction, and you've made that your identity, right? So that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the equivalent of black sheep in the chosen one, right? You'll realize that all along, you were the only one who did not know you were the chosen one. Everyone around you knew there was something different about you. You've always been unique. You've always stood out. Many of the chosen ones have been fostered. We've been separated from family, maybe mom, dad, right? Take this as it resonates. But the chosen one usually has been neglected emotionally by the people that they needed the most, right? But they always knew there was something about you, because even though they went out their way to leave you out, you always made do. You never were the type to seek attention. You were never the type to beg for the attention. You'd be that kid in the corner playing with yourself, laughing, using your imagination. You're outside, you're playing in nature. You are always inquisitive about what's out there. There's got to be more out there. There's more to life. And with that, some of the elders in the family, and this is tough because it's a sick thing now that you have your full circle moment, but we have to speak on these things because these are the things that we had to endure and overcome. They came for your self-esteem. They came for your mind. They came for your ambition. And they came for your beliefs in God, right? Many of us chosen ones have been told we'll never be anything. We've been compared to other family members, whether it was in our age bracket or not. And we were basically told to our face, these children will succeed. These children will not. Or this child will do this and this child will not. So chosen ones, they counted you out before you were even in the game. And the goal was to make you feel so low about yourself, to make you feel like you were the scum of the shoe, so that when you did come of age, when you did get some free will, you would use it against your own self. They wanted to send you into the world with no self-esteem, with thinking you were ugly, thinking you were dumb, thinking you were last pick. Because remember, they all at some point came together and said, we're going to purposely make this particular child feel like they are less than the other children. And so in a way, they felt like they had to do this because they seen you, chosen one, as compared to their own children, to the rest of the children. And they seen that you were advancing well beyond your years. Because remember, we've already been here before, right? And so to level the playing field, they had to take away your spirit. They had to break your spirit so that their children weren't uncomfortable in your presence. These are the same things we deal with today as adults, with people seeing you put in the work, see you being the first to show up, see you on time, yet they'll choose someone who just came in the door that they didn't even vet out over you. They'll give the opportunities that you worked hard for to other people who are less than deserving. It's intentional. It's to send a message to you and them saying, if you choose this righteous path, this is what you're going to get. Nothing. But if you continue to live in darkness, we will give you the things of the world. See, the devil takes care of his own. The world takes care of its own. We are not of this world. And so the world is not going to treat us how they treat the others. But we've already accepted that. Let's move on a little deeper into the message, right? So this formula is used, it's witchcraft, okay? Some people think that witchcraft has to be chants, spells. No, it's the words that you say. It's the intention behind the things that you do. And it's the spirit fueling the event. And so you'll see this same strategy being used in the school system. You'll see this same strategy being used in the workplace. You'll see this same strategy being used in the family dynamic. It's all to hinder you from, it's an inorganic hindrance. It's a systematic formula that's used to make you think that you are not chosen, to make you think that the odds are against you. It's an illusion. These people create illusions. And it's really up to you to wake up and realize what is happening, right? So fast forward, chosen ones. We've overcome so much. We now know who we are. We can firmly say I'm anointed and appointed by God. We're not shy of saying that. We don't go boasting it, but I am that I am, and I will not be ashamed. Let's get into the karmic family members. We I don't really like that word karmic. I'll find another word. But let's get into that. So now they've created monsters, right? All of these people around you who've been placed on inorganic pedestals, who've been told, okay, you might have someone who's went to college for 4 to 5 years, right? And a whole time on that journey, chosen one, you might have picked up a trade. But all behind the scenes, they downplayed you. She's not going to make it. He's not going to make it. He's not going to be anything, because you have others in the family who have taken other routes, right? They may have, like I said, went to college. They may have started businesses before you. They may have started families before you. And so you've already been counted out since birth. And so even in these times, you're counted out. But as they see God elevating you and pulling you through, and you're beating the odds, you're beating all of the flies in the ointment, all of the stumbling blocks, you're beating them. And so now people you haven't even sent for have offense in their heart towards you that you at some point may have not been aware of. So now you're in this secret competition that you don't even know you're in, because the elders of the family have abused their power, have abused their positions, and have pitted everyone against each other. So now there's this unspoken competition between maybe your uncle's kids, your aunt's kids, your versus your mom's kids, right? And so a lot of time with us chosen ones, a lot of these things have been going on before we were even born. Again, we are generational curse breakers. That's what we're here to do. We're here to break this nonsense. And so certain family members feel like maybe your mom or your father was not worthy to be the one to give birth to a starseed. Maybe they felt like they were more equipped for that task than maybe your mother or your father. Maybe because, like I said, God takes the foolish things, the foolish people of this world, and he uses them to confound the people who put themselves on such high pedestals. And so they just can't fathom that God would send a starseed through whatever vessel you've come from. What these people need to understand is, although you come from the same family, your DNA is totally different than theirs. The Most High God has made you so that your DNA is you're able to access junk DNA, is what the world will call it. That DNA that lays dormant in you, your Akashic records, you're able to access those. So they're thinking because, oh, we have the same blood, we have the same this. So, I can certainly destiny swap, or I can certainly achieve the mystical things that the chosen one is achieving because we come from the same bloodline. Not realizing these folks are just vessels for you to come into this physical realm. They were your natural family are the ones that share the same spirit as you. Okay? There's even a time where Yeshua, or Christ, I believe, and I don't want to, of course I'm going to paraphrase, but he was asked something along the lines like, hey, but that's your mother, that's your father, that's your family. And Yeshua pretty much told them, my family are the ones who are here to do the will of the Father. That's my family. Do you not know that I come to do the will of my Father? Right? That's what you come to do. So Christ didn't get caught up on the blood relation. He knew that the true relation was through the Spirit. He knew that he would remember who his true followers were through the Spirit, the Holy Spirit. And so, chosen ones, it's important not to get caught up on titles. Yes, that's your mother. Yes, that's your father. Yes, that's your aunt. But what fruits are they bearing? Don't get Cain enabled. Okay? Don't. When you share your dream and they throw you in the well, you have to be aware of what the spirit is that's housing that vessel. Don't get caught up on titles. Okay? So, whoever the matriarch, whoever the emperor, whoever that person who thought they were going to take on that mothering role for the family, whoever that person is for you, that fathering role, or that I'm going to lead us out of the wilderness role, whoever that is in the family who thought they were the chosen one, that's going to be that person, the main person who you're going to have to watch out for. Because they're going to start to notice, as the rest of the family notices who you are, as the rest of the family notices that God is truly walking with you, they're going to notice that even those family members that they turned against you are going to lose respect for them. Because they did trust this person. They trusted their knowledge. They trusted their guidance. And they're realizing they used their role to turn them against you. And now they've already made their bed with you. And now they're looking at that person and saying, what have you done? We could have been so much further with the chosen one by now. And most importantly, closer to the Most High. Because you got to think about it. In a world, in the last days, the wickedness in this world, to have a chosen vessel in your family, that close proximity where you can go to if you're reading your word and you can say, okay, I know God's using this person. Let me pray on it. And then let me go to this person and see what message God may deliver to me through this person. Or let me run this past this person because I know that they're Holy Spirit led. And then I'm going to take it to the Father for confirmation. They had that and they have that. But they chose to work against it. They chose to literally try to destroy you, dim your light. And so they wonder if they can come back from that. And, with that chosen, it's up to you. You have to discern the situation. You have to look in the mirror and really check yourself and make sure you're doing what Christ would do in all situations. And so I'm not going to tell you to forgive anyone who's just going to come in your life and continue the same toxic behaviors, because that's another thing that they do. They say change, change, change. I've changed, change, change. But then you talk to them and you hear nothing but daggers underneath their kind words. You hear nothing but daggers after the compliment. And they're expecting you to be the same naive person to just let it slide. And a lot of us are not letting it slide anymore, but we're also not combative. You just won't be able to access me. You're done. Access denied. Peacefully. Okay? So depending on how evil or wicked these family members are, I'm telling you right now, this is real life. Some of them will resort to sorcery. Okay? They will say, okay, so first of all, one of the first important things you need to know about witchcraft is if it's being done on you by a family member, it is more effective. And that's just the truth. If someone of the same bloodline as you is doing spiritual work on you, there is a direct connection to you and that person. Versus if a practitioner that you don't know uses a shirt or a picture or something that may be loosely connected to you. And these people are very aware of that. And once again, they're abusing their power and they're abusing their position. It's disheartening. It hurts us. We've spent many nights crying about this, but a lot of us are now in that time where we're no longer shedding tears over it. We're letting the dead bury the dead at this point. If they've done any witchcraft, if they've went to practitioners, if they've done any spell work, it's about to go down. Everything, it's about to go down. And so I'm going to end this message with saying that you are beautiful inside and out. The Most High handpicked you. He knew you before you were created in the womb. He knew you would be able to identify these characters in this family dynamics, and you would be able to break and crush their wicked ways. They won't be able to reign as they used to reign before. A lot of eyes are being opened. You're being revealed. God is showing you who you are, and he's showing the world who you are. This is your time. Speak up. It's your time. Speak up. It's time. You're protected. You are protected. It is time. Speak up, remove yourself, do everything you have to do, self-care, fast, do whatever you have to do to lift spiritually, because I'm telling you right now, you don't want to be mistaken as one of these individuals who are an enemy to the kingdom. You don't want to get caught slipping. If they're doing witchcraft on you and you're living in sin, it's an open door for it to work. If you're following the laws and the commandments of the Most High God, if you're staying on the straight and narrow path, they can't touch you. And even when we do fall short, there's a hedge of protection there because all of our moves, our ways have been ordained. God knows what we're going to do before we do it. All things are for our greater good. And it may not look like what it is. So you have to have faith and you have to trust. And stop trying to control everything. God is the director of this movie. You are a co-creator, but essentially, this is not your movie. You're just being used. You're just a servant. So kill your ego. The ego deaths must take place. You're just a servant of the Most High God. All the things that you do, all that's being revealed, all of the vengeance that is being put on your behalf, it's really not about you. It's not about you. Don't get it twisted. Chosen ones, don't get it twisted. Okay? I love you guys so much. Follow me on YouTube, Beautifully TJarah. More messages to come. Shalom.